Alright, here we go with another game. This is the first game I played in this July tournament. And I'm playing against Calvin, who is playing Making News on the right. That is the Making News ID from the European Plugged In Tour. We had a trade in the Bay Area where a local player, Davis, traded took a bunch of our Gabe alternate IDs from the Plugged In Tour and got a trade going with a bunch of nice Europeans who had extra of the NBN ID, I suppose. We did a mega trade. That's the story of that. And I am Gabe on the left. Been playing Gabe now for a few months and been having a lot of fun with him. The deck doesn't change too often. You just do micro changes here and there, but that's just because that's a really solid build. And with Making News, you're never quite sure what you're going to see. There's a lot of common builds, but you're always seeing weird hybrids. You're always seeing Scorched Earth when you didn't expect it. And you're seeing a lot of Biotic Labors over the last few months. So you got to be aggressive. It looks like he does have a Scorched Earth in hand. I'm seeing at least one Scorched Earth in his hand. Starts off with a Sweeps week. Some more sweeps. And he's defending against a Siphon. So I get the Desperado out early and I hit R&D to see the mid-season. So I already am aware that this is a very, either Scorchy deck or Psycho BL style deck. So I gotta be careful. Gotta try and get a lot of money before I start scoring agendas. Especially now that, I see a Psychographics in his hand as well. I think his hand is Psychographics, mid-season, and Scorched Earth. Alright, so I get into HQ for click 3, and that nets me 2 money. And I'm going to pull a card and see more of these secrets. Oh, I couldn't quite see what I pulled there. But I think it was probably a Psychographics or other mid-season. Oh, looks like I just stepped away from the table for some reason. I was also running this tournament, so sometimes people would have questions, such as how much time is left, something about Data Raven, etc. Because I do TO quite often, I know a lot of the rules, but man, the game is complicated, and I always find new things. And I am taking a long time to decide what to do with my last click here. But I just dropped down. That shouldn't have taken me that long. So I put a Plascrete down. So that's a pretty strong opening, I think, for he has a lot of money there, and I know he has mid-seasons and might have seen that Scorched Earth even, so he just draws up and takes a couple credits. He doesn't need to defend too much. He knows that I know that he has. So I'm siphoning, and I got the Plascrete down, so I felt the siphon was in order, especially with just that pop-up window mocking me there. You can't defend HQ against Gabe with just a pop-up window, but you can if you want him to take tags. So I'm trying to decide if I want to clear those tags. I don't really want to clear them. I'd rather go start hitting R&D right now. Go look for a so yeah, I see a Psychographics on R&D. So I say in light of recent developments I will clear the tag. So now that I see a Psychographics, I have to clear at least one tag, because otherwise I'm letting him fast advance an Astroscript out of hand. So then I might as well clear the other tag as well, because it's just another click if I'm already clearing one tag. And I don't want to get closed accounts right now when I'm up on money like that. So I very often do not clear tags once I get a Plascrete down, because it is a tag me deck, but this situation meant that I probably should. And so I just saw the hedge fund on R&D. what I'd like right now is either a Parasite or a Sneak Door. Because I don't want to keep going through HQ to give him the pop-up money. Especially when I've seen enough cards there. And so he is just focusing on building up money. I think he's taking credits for clicks, and yeah, he's just money, money, money. He wants to make sure he's well ahead of me by the time I score the first agenda, so he can land a bunch of tags. Something like 12 or 13 tags is about ideal. So I go into R&D, and there's an Astro script. So now I go in R&D again. I didn't even think about that. I was so hungry for those agendas. I just ran into R&D right again. Though I think he has more money than me for sure. But let's see. He has some new credit tokens, and it's hard for me to read exactly how much. Yes. Oh, let's see. We'll see right here. He's just making some change. No, maybe he's not up on money, actually. I think he has 11 credits, I believe, because I think those are, that's a 5, and then those are a bunch of 2s. So I think I'm a little bit ahead on money right now, or if those are 3s, then we're still pretty close. So I love pulling the Astro script. Yeah, those are 3s. So he had 14. And I had 14, so mid-season wouldn't have worked out. I probably would have spent the money if he mid-seasoned. So I draw a card and I put the Sneak Door down. I almost certainly drew that Sneak Door. And I just second click or third click, I use Sneak Door, so I get 3 of those money back. Just see a Psychographics. So at this point, I'm really pressuring him. I'm going to get into HQ. He can't just let me get into HQ for free like that. So he sees a Wall of Static. The Wall of Static will defend up against Sneak Door pretty well. But yeah, he can't let me keep getting into HQ with Sneak Door. Not only because I might pull an agenda and will reveal more of his plans, but just 3 credits for a run. It's too good. So I Sneak Door again, get my 3 credits. I'm not used to seeing this much money as Gabe, unless if I'm tagged. So this is going well so far. So I'm just trying to check R&D every single turn. There's another pop-up. Don't like to see that. And I Sneak Door again, so see a Scorched Earth. There's 1 indexing in the deck and 2 Planned Assault, so I think I was going to check to see if that was a Jackson Howard, but I do trash that. That's probably what he wanted me to do. He probably wasn't too concerned about scoring out behind that. So I'm pretty sure he puts the pop-up down there in front of R&D. I tried to I tweak the audio settings of the recording, the commentary in this video, so I'd like feedback if you all think it sounds better. I know the last couple of videos were a little bit off, so I am trying to improve that. So I'm just doing some more Sneak Dooring, and I third click run into R&D. And there's Jackson Howard, so I will gladly trash that. So at this point, it looks like it's a Wall of Static and pop-up defense here. So I don't need to go through HQ though. The Sneak Door has paid off wonderfully. I think it's probably given me 9 credits at this point. I think I've used it 3 times. Well, just for the initial run, I think I've used it more than that. I'm a big fan of Gabe. A huge part of that is Sneak Door. I think Sneak Door, just the memory on it and the cost is not worth it most of the time. It's a nice surprise, but like in Andromeda, for example. But Gabe just means that Sneak Door turns into an economic engine. Like right now, it's just bringing in so much money. So I Sneak Door or Dirty Laundry R&D. So that cost me 3 and I get 4 back with More than that. Cost me 3 and I get 6 back. So click for 3 credits with a run is kind of the gold standard right now. If I could run and get 3 credits, that's amazing. That will just win me the game. So I am at 22 credits. I'm not entirely sure where Calvin is at. I haven't been tracking every credit, and he does like to stack them up to hide it from me when I'm commentating. See the Scorcher, just make sure it's still there. So I just invest a Parasite to make those R&D runs much cheaper. So see the Enigma. That Enigma is going to block off access to, I would guess, Sneak Door. So this game is, we aren't seeing a lot of agendas, but so yeah, he puts the Enigma down on, he must not, he's just not drawing the ice, you know? It looks like he's just trying to bait me into taking an agenda so he can mid-season me, but with all this money it's not going to work. He's just not drawing the ice. So he will draw that toll booth. That will make me sad. So I'm going to run, I think, Sneak Door last click here. 4th click, yeah, just to force him to res the Enigma when I'm not going to lose the click. Gotta get him to spend some of his money. An HQ run at this point would also not be horrible, just to get him to res that wall of static. And I'd like to get one more Data Sucker and then drop down a Yogg and run on that toll booth. That would probably be the best way to handle that. So I'm getting him to res that wall of static here on HQ. I put down the Corroder. So that'll cost me 3 to get through, and then I get 3 back for getting in. So not quite making money on these runs anymore, but that is a free Data Sucker. Just make sure that Scorched Earth is still there. It's the last time I will use that joke, because it's a very dumb joke. So I think that was a 3rd click run on R&D. I probably don't have a good way to get the Yogg out, and it would also involve... Oh, he's not resonant. Okay, and that is a Jackson Howard, which I will gladly trash. That's 2 Jackson Howards down. So I'm running R&D again for the 4th click. It's really wanting to res that toll booth. But another tool against a toll booth is just wait for them to res it, take the 3 credit hit, and then put a fem on it. So he does res it. That'll just steal 3 of my credits. I will lose 3 credits. And end the run. But I may already have a fem in hand, which is why I was trying to get him to res that. So he installs another ice above the wall static and takes 2 credits. He seems to be waiting for something to come together. At this point, probably just more ice. He's just trying to defend against Siphon. So that is the fem. Spent a lot of money, but... So now I have free R&D runs again. I get a Beal, and now this could be a problem because I just invested a ton of money. I get another Beal. I just invested a ton of money into that fem, so now I'm open to mid-season, and I'm aware of this, but I just took 4 points right there. So I just drew up another card. I think I have 4 cards in hand. I might have 5. But he draws a hedge fund before this mid-season, which is ideal. Unless if he was gonna, you know, try and score out a Beal here or something, then doing the hedge fund first is the right way to do it. He drew up another card. before mid-season. So there's the mid-season. It starts off at 8 because Making News has their 2 credits. This is the first time that the Making News power has come into play in this game. There's not been any tracing ice, and we haven't had a trace initiated before this. Sorry, I just hiccuped. But I'm not gonna go edit that out, so you just have to deal with that. And Gabe has gotten his 2 credits probably 7 times this game. So it's interesting to point out. And it looks like it's a trace for 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, 15. And so I could either take 7 tags or take 15 tags. 7 tags and lose all my money. And so yeah, I just decided to take all 15 tags because I didn't have any econ on the board. Like if I had an Armitage down, I don't know, something like that, maybe I would have invested in clearing some of those tags. The magic number for this Psycho deck is 13. 12 or 13 tags means you could score out a Beal in 1 turn and win. So as long as he has 13 credits, it is match point. It's match point on both sides. So I see the closed account on that first R&D run. So I'd like to spend some of these credits before letting him close my accounts. I just need to... I still have pretty good board position. I have great access to R&Ds, but he just needs to ice that up a little bit more to make that a pain. Wow, pop-up. All-sided pop. So that's all 3 pop-ups already in play. And so I'm already in the run, so I'm just going to finish this run. I might pull an agenda and win. It's the upside. And it kind of evens out in the cost, so... Although I used a data sucker there during the run, I think that was a small misplay. Because I'm going to lose all my credit pool anyway, I might as well just spend the money. So I could have had an extra data sucker, but I don't think that's going to matter too much. And so right now I am inside jobbing HQ, and the reason I do that, there's no remote setup. I'm not feeling like I'm gonna need to play the inside job anytime soon, and I might as well just, like, if I'm gonna go into HQ, I might as well prevent him from getting an extra credit, spend some of my money, because again, it's gonna go away. So that's why I play the inside job there. It's just I figured I might as well spend some of my money. But I don't know if that was really an optimal play, but I kind of wanted to get my money down low enough where he didn't think it was worth closing my accounts. Not worth his click, but yeah, he does anyway. I think he would have, unless if I was down to 1 or 2 credits, I think he would have just closed them. But that was the reason why I played the inside job. I was trying to get my credit pool down to some threshold. Some players won't play a closed accounts until you have, like over 5 money or something. The way I'm tracking my tags, I just have 15 credits down on my ID and then a tag on top of that. Because I didn't want to count out 15 tag tokens. So I just draw and take some money. This game will open up again if I could get the Yogg down. But to do that, I'm going to have to get rid of the data sucker probably. Because I wanted the sneak door. The sneak door is only defended by 1 enigma. So I'm asking him to tell me the influence that is face up and. So I'm trying to figure out if, how many Scorched Earths he has. Like I've seen it in his hand a number of times. I'm trying to figure out how risky it is to not put down another Plascrete. Because at this point I have tags. That part is not changing. I think he does have 2 Scorched Earth in hand right now, though. I see 1 there on the right side of his hand. So he needs probably 3 Scorched Earths to win, or he needs to just draw his last Beal. If he draws his last Beal, I think he's already at... I think he has enough credits. It's a little bit hard for me to tell. I think he's probably going to try and always have about 13 credits. So I put another Plascrete down, just not screwing around. I think he told me after the game that on this turn, like, I think he just drew his 3rd Scorched Earth. I think that's what he's told me after the game, that I just put down my 2nd Plascrete just in the nick of time. And if I ever end my turn with less than 4 cards, I would also just lose. Because while this is a Tag Me deck, I actually only use 2 Plascretes. Waylon isn't super big in our meta right now. We do have one player that plays Waylon a lot, and he's really good. He wins a lot of tournaments. But we don't have a lot of Waylon players, so I feel like, I don't know, I feel like 2 Plascretes is okay. The times I've been Scorched have not been times when I, like, it's just been total surprises. Lately it's been a lot of Jinteki. Like, now I'm just installing Scorched or Plascrete against Jinteki because they're finding the influence for it. So he installs something in the remote. My guess would be another SanSan. I haven't really seen other assets, just seen SanSan and Jackson, I think. Haven't seen any upgrades. So at this point, the deck looks like just like a Psycho Beal Scorched Earth deck, you know. So I'm very low on credits after installing that 2nd Plascrete, but I think it did prevent me from losing right then. So that was, I think I realized at that point, I was like, wait a second, where's the outside influence? Like, I hadn't seen any influence other than Scorched Earth, and it just had me worried. So I ran first click on the remote. I'm honestly not... Oh yeah, okay. That makes sense. I wanted to play the Dirty Laundry, but I was a little bit worried of it being the 3rd Jackson Howard. So if you Dirty Laundry Jackson Howard and they use Jackson Howard's ability, then you don't get your money back because it's not a successful run. So 3rd and 4th click, I am same old thing. And I do an inside job, same old thing, inside job on archives. So I know Jackson Howard wasn't on the table. Look at all those cards. And so I figured maybe he's hiding an agenda here. Maybe there was an agenda early. Against Gabe, people sometimes try and hide agendas in archives, because especially when you have Sneak Door down, they figure you're going to just use Sneak Door whenever you can and you won't check archives. So I'd killed the Jackson Howards. There was no Jackson Howard on the table. I thought it was worth checking archives, because that could have just resulted in a win. If there was an NAPD in there, for example, I think I would have had enough to get it. Wow, so there's a lot of ice now. I do draw into the indexing. However, without Yogg down, it seems unlikely to work. See, he has Enigmas in a deck at the very least. So I'm doing some more scouting on R&D here. I don't think I needed that Fem down with all his data suckers. Yeah, I'm not sure why I did say Fem, I meant Fairy. I'm not sure why I put the Fairy down. With all those data suckers, Fem is pretty invulnerable. There's not much that can affect her. There was definitely a risk there of Inazuma into Roto Turret or something like that. But yeah, not with the influence I've seen. I don't know. I've kind of just... Oh, so that makes sense. I think I figured out his influence's point is Eli and Scorched Earth. That would be my guess. So he's just drawing hard to get... he's dropped a Scorched Earth. So it looks like that plan is off the table. At this point, he's just kind of looking for that last Beal. And I think I'm just looking for a way to get Yogg out, probably. So yeah, this is where like I'm setting up for this indexing. I just want to know what that ice is. Might get lucky and he'll trash it. He's counting his money though. Probably gonna be something nasty. He's counting all of his money. No, it's just a wraparound. So yeah, that's not a big threat to me. I get through for 1. Set server right now, it's an Eli costing, well, with data suckers 2. Wraparound is 1, and the toll booth is 1. So it costs 4 for me to get through there. Which I don't have the money right now to index, but if I build up a little bit of money, I could index on the following turn. He just draws up a ton of cards. I think he has an NAPD in hand, is what I see there on the end. Just deciding what to drop. Yeah, he's definitely looking for that third Beal. There's only, I don't know, there might be like 3 cards left in R&D, I think. It's pretty funny. Like, I'm at 6 point seats at 0, but this is totally match point right now. He hasn't even needed to take credits, really. Okay, so I just play out a sure gamble. So now I have the money I need to index. So he must not have the Beal yet. If he had the Beal, he would win right here. But what's crazy about Psychographics is he could still, for his first click, draw a card. If that's the Beal, he could play it and just win. I don't think he drew the Beal. Draws an Enigma. Yeah, I think that last card was the Beal. Pretty sure. So he drew the Beal on his last click. So it's all going to come down to this indexing. I think there's 2 cards left in R&D. One of those, one of those needs to be an agenda, and if it's NAPD, I can't steal it. So I'm indexing it 2 cards. So I'm gonna pay 4 to get through with data suckers. It might have been, I don't know if that would make a difference. It might have been better just to pay or to click through the Eli, just to save my credits in the case there was an NAPD. And yeah, I do see, what is it, the Astroscript? Yeah, the third Astroscript I see there. And he did draw that Beal on his last click. So that game was a match point there. Even though it didn't really look like it. It came down to just that last turn. Happens so often in Netrunner. So it was a bit of a long game, but it was, you know, with the 15 tags being dumped, I think it was pretty dramatic. I think Gabe earned his win today against NBN Psycho Madness. So that is the game. I'll have the second part of this game up, second part of this matchup pretty soon. As always, thanks for watching, and keep running.